Hi there, how you doing? I just want a wee word with you, if you don't mind. Now, I've been watching your videos, and I've been seeing that you're saying that white people are derived from black people, who are derived from monkeys. Now, if that's in fact what you're saying, and if you just make that clear if that's in fact what you're actually saying. Thank you. Well, you've been around my channel, right? You've seen that, the black man has been in Africa longer than any other color or person. That in fact the black man was the first man on earth. And that's why we're reclaiming South Africa from these white devils. You understand me? And we're going to take other nations as well. Already we're taking nations through Obama and other people like that. We got our men spread out right throughout the world, about to take over the whole world. You understand? Because the black man was the first man on the planet. So it's our planet, okay? It's our world. Now, what I want to educate you in is the fact that the black man, when we're going back in tribal histories in Africa, is that one day one of the tribal leaders, a very powerful man, had a kid from one of his concubines, and one of these children were paler than the other black people. So straight away this man says, let's not discriminate between that person, but what we're going to do is that we're going to breed more and more of these lighter color skinned people, so that we can use them and maybe as whatever we want, as workers or concubines or whatever. Okay, so this black man in his big palace, big mansion in Africa, this is thousands of years ago, mind you, before you were even born, so don't even tell me that this is wrong, because you don't know if this story is wrong or not. Okay, but what they did was they breeded more of these lighter color skinned people, and eventually these lighter skinned colored people were sent away from Africa to Europe, you see. And that's when they became even more white. And then these white racial groups became very bitter and angry that they had been thrown out of the motherland. And that's why the white man came in the boats and took the white man took the black slaves away in boats to America and boats to Europe. Okay, now that is the truth. Okay, that is the truth. I'm educating you on this, my brother. I'm doing you a favor. Okay, now what do you think about that? Well, it could be right. You could be right, my brother. I'm not really sure. So that means that the white person originally has came from a black man. So does that mean that the white South Africans were there before the black Africans, or there during the white Africans, or I don't understand this. If the white people then were the slaves originally in South Africa, then how did they rise up and then become the sort of more prominent people? I don't understand that. Can you explain that to me? I'll answer your question. What actually happened is that these white devils came and they actually made a covenant with the Zulu tribe, okay, back in the day, in order to have a contract to mine the gold. But what they actually discovered is that the black man was actually better at doing that work, okay? But what happened was that the white man got the contract for that work because he is a slave. You understand me? So what happened is, like the Dutch and the British and so on, they went into the gold mines, the diamond mines, and they started mining things in Africa, so that the black man sat back and let them do that. Because remember, the white men were the slaves to the black man. And then we knew that at the end of time, that we're going to come back and rule everything. We're going to take everything anyway that the white man has. You see? So, what do you think about that? Right now, I understand. So what you've got is basically white people just going out there, building things, mining, coal mining, building ships, and all of that is just basically to serve the black slave masters that are actually in Africa just now. Okay, I mean, do you actually get this from a religion, or where did you actually get this from, exactly? Well, these stories are being around for centuries, for thousands of years. You know, these stories have been around ever since, you know, some of the black leaders here in America started telling us these stories, you know. So, of course, they gotta be true, you know. And, you know, what we're seeing today is that, you know, the black man is becoming prominent again. So these stories must be true, my brother. It must be true. And I call you my brother because we have equality now. Okay, today we have such a thing as equality, and now we're kind of recognizing that even though the white man is slightly below us in status, okay, we're still prepared to allow the white man to basically have a little bit of land, have a little bit of like money sometimes. I know they got money, but we allowed them to have that money so that they could then give it back to us. You hear? So I know that it's been propagated, these stories in Islam, some of them in different, you know, social groups have been propagating these stories, you know. And I believe it's Louis Farrakhan was discussed one of these stories, you know, with his followers, and you know, but it's been, as I say, it's been going on for thousands of years, you know. Actually, it's going back tens of thousands of years to the very start of civilization. Tens of thousands of years? Well, do you mean that it's going all the way back then before the actual Bible records began then? Because what the Bible says is that the first man was Adam and Eve, and they stayed actually in somewhere in North Africa, probably Israel, around about there. That was the Garden of Eden, you know, going from Ethiopia, Sudan, down Egypt, Israel, Saudi Arabia. That was all the Garden of Eden at one time. That's actually the central point of the entire world, according to biblical history. You know, and what you've got is like the Jewish people, that God said they would re-inherit their land again. Now, whether these people are Zionist or not, I don't know, but they seem to work pretty hard, you know, to build up their land, and then, as far as I know, they're doing not too badly. And there's even, I believe there's even black Muslims that like staying in Israel rather than actually staying anywhere else because it's a better quality of life. So what do you think about that? The black man owns Israel. The black man owns the nation of Israel right now. Okay? Right now. So what I'm saying is that these crypto Jews that have crept into that land and started making things in that land and started doing things in that land and making money, our money, that in the end of days, the black man is going to get in there with Jesus Christ, one of the prophets, okay? He's not God or anything, but he's one of the prophets, peace be upon him. And, you know, what I'm saying is that Jesus Christ is going to lead us. He's going to give us that land one day, you see? So, you don't even know anything about my religion or my culture. I'm even just going to end this conversation because I think now that you are just treading on very, very shaky ground now. Okay. Aye. Well, that's fine. Well, don't really believe I have any more questions really for you. Just basically about the political situation maybe in South Africa. That it used to be sort of based on capitalism, but now it's more communist. Okay, so they've got a more communist manifesto. Do you really think that that's going to work in South Africa? How do you think things are going to go on there? Well, you see, in America, they've been doing this to us anyway for like hundreds of years. Under a capitalist system or a socialist system or a communist system, they've always been taking advantage of the black man in America. So when another brother says that they want change, we're going to follow that brother. But now what we got now is this brother is now making things even worse than it was before. The man who was in office just now, who I don't want to repeat even his name, because it's basically lower than a snake's belly. You see, this is a snake's belly. This is where the man in charge of our nation is right now. That if a dog does some doo-doo on the pavement, that even below that doo-doo is just about the level that this man is on right now. So, you know, I got to respect him because he's a brother, but at the same time, he seems to be making himself a slave to the slaves who we originally made slaves. So what I'm telling you is that in South Africa, you know, we got to take that land back, you know, from the white man in order for things to function a lot better. That's just obvious. Alright, I just understood, you know, that a lot of missionaries went out to Africa and they seemed to, you know, build things and quite help a lot of black people, literally, you know, educationally, you know, build churches and different things and blah 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 blah. Do you think they're just all doing that to make money, or do you really genuinely think that they're just doing it because they hated the black man? I don't know. Yeah, we allowed the white man to do these things, okay? We allowed him to do these things. Obviously, when the bankers came over to Africa, you know, we gave them the prominent parts of our land because we like money. Okay, the black man obviously likes money. A black man and money are like, you know, best of friends. So when the bankers came over to Africa, we gave them the best parts of our land to build their nice, you know, corporate banks. You know, we actually gave them the land for free. Okay, in most cases. So that's why, you know, that I don't agree completely about all this stuff about blah blah blah. I don't know about the Jews and all that. But what I'm saying is that when the Europeans came out, we didn't like them. Most of us didn't like them. Okay, we sort of, whatever happened there, you know. But which I explained before. Okay, but you know, when the bankers came out, we gave them the most prominent parts of our land for free, so that these nice people could come and build their banks and give us money. Well, that's what we thought anyway, but it really didn't work out like that. Anyway, John Bob, I'm just going to go now, and it's nice talking to you, and I hope that you learned something from this video. I certainly have. Thanks a lot for your time, pal.